Hello there, party people. It's your girl, Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ. You already know I do this every single Tuesday, so welcome back to NIKKI BANZ Live! Woohoo! Hello, hello, hello. What's good, everybody? What a glorious Tuesday it is. I am feeling so fine. I'm feeling super relaxed, super zen. I came through with the hoodie on today. I was like, oh no, I'm just chilling today. I am chilling today. And it is so good to see all of you who have joined. Welcome one, welcome all. Go ahead and slide into the live chat here on Instagram. Tell me where in the world you are joining from today. What city, what country, where are you coming to us from? I would love to know. I love that we have such a diverse, global, and international audience here on NIKKI BANZ Live. Not only in terms of the guests, but also in terms of the audience. So go ahead and let me know. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Today is Tuesday, and I do this every single week, party people. Every single week, I am bringing you exclusive and entertaining interviews with some of the most interesting people from across the globe, whether they are magicians or actors or singers or rappers or fitness experts turned reality TV stars. Then I am just going to be bringing you some really amazing people. I want to share their stories. I want to share their perspectives. I want you all to feel like we are all interconnected in this big, bad world that we live in, because honestly, we truly are. We are all connected. We are all one. And that is proven every single Tuesday when I bring you people from all over the world. So welcome. I'm so blessed to have you all here today. And today is a very special day for NIKKI BANZ Live. It is a first for NIKKI BANZ Live. Never have I ever had a guest on the show who was on twice. All right? So this is a first. Today's guest, Durang Atembe, was on the show last week, but due to some technical difficulties, we decided that we were going to actually do round 2 today, which is why if you were looking at the flyers, you were like, wait a second, I feel like I already seen that dude before. Yes, you have seen him before. He is back, ladies and gentlemen. Durang Atembe is back to chop it up here with you all after last week. So this is just so exciting. It's so cool. I love when we do brand new things on the show, like if I introduce the show in Mandarin because it's Chinese New Year. On your toes day in and day out. You already know the vibes here at NIKKI BANZ Live. We gotta be entertained, we gotta have fun, and we just need to have a good time all around. And I'm sure that our guest today, Mr. Atembe, will not disappoint. Like I shared last week, Durang is a fitness expert. He's been on the cover of Men's Health magazine. He has his own fitness company. He has personal training clients all over South Africa and beyond. And he got his claim to fame here in South Africa when he got cast onto the reality TV series Love Island. Ooh la la. So on the last interview we had with Durang, we were talking more about his family, his upbringing, his rugby background. But today we're gonna get into the juicy stuff, party people. I already warned Durang. I was like, today we're getting into the juicy bits. I need to talk about this man's love life. We need to figure out if, what is going on since Love Island. Is he dating? Is he not dating? All the shenanigans. I'm just saying, Durang, I know you're here. It's coming, my friend. It's coming. All right, party people. You don't need to hear anything else from me. It is time to bring on the guest of the hour. Are you ready? Are you ready? Are you ready? Also, really quick, look at this ring. Isn't this dope? Look at this, like, Mama Africa with the comb. I'm like, hold up. Oh, sorry, guys. My hair is out of place. Let me just comb it back real quick with my pick ring. Isn't that cool? Beautiful, beautiful. Got it at the Messiah Market in Kenya. All right, I'm gonna bring on Durang right now. Here we go, party people. It's NIKKI BANZ Live. Follow me on Instagram at They Call Me Banz. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Nicole Banister, aka NIKKI BANZ, and we're gonna get this party started. Time to bring on Durang with the drum roll. Let go.
Yo, what's happening?
Hello, hello,
I'm
Durang.
I'm
Welcome
back.
back to
I'm
Nikki
back
Banz Live.
again. I'm back. Happy to be back.
You are back after last week, Durang. We went live last week. We had some technical difficulties, and we
Yeah.
said, you know what? We got to give the people what they want. They wanted a full hour with you. We are going to give it to them right
Sure, why
now,
not?
right here on Nikki Banz Live.
No, we can do that. That's why I'm
How
back.
are you feeling today, Durang? How are you
I'm
doing?
feeling good, man. I had a long day at work. Came back. You know, it's been a very positive day. So I'm feeling good.
Okay,
I'm
that's
feeling
good.
good. How's your day been, though? Good.
Oh, feeling good.
Yeah,
What'd you say?
really good. How's your day been? Was it good?
Oh, my day has been lovely. Like I'm feeling so calm, so zen. I had a really beautiful day. It was very relaxed, but also like I did a lot of hard work at the same time. So it was a good balance.
But that's good. That's good. At
Mm,
least you have that whole balance going on, so it's fine. It's really
you
fine.
know?
So what's the
Namaste.
chat? What's what's the Christian gonna be like today? What? Huh?
I'm going ham on the questions today, my
Oh,
guy,
cool.
because last week we didn't get to go into the juicy bits. But actually, last week when we spoke, you actually shared some really beautiful stories about your family, about what it means for you to be building a better life for yourself and for your family, some of the things that you were doing to have a successful rugby career. I was actually really touched by
Definitely.
your story last week, I have to be honest. So I really appreciate you sharing what you did. And I apologize that today will be much more ratchet than what we talked about last week.
I know it's talking to
Durang,
lot, man, but I'm ready.
before
Talk to
we
me.
get started, talk to the people. What happened on our live last week? What happened to your phone?
Oh,
Where
so
did you
what
go? The
actually
people want to
happened?
know.
Listen, what actually happened? I had a long day. Okay, I got back to the house. I thought my phone was fully charged, but I lied to myself. It wasn't. And as I was talking to you, my phone just switched off. And by the time that I got my phone on, it was really close to the time. So I was just like, it was a really bad timing, really unprofessional about me. And yeah, I'm really sorry about that, but I'm back. My phone is fully charged. You know what I mean? We can have a full on conversation with no disturbance at all. So yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Well, we're so happy that you're back. We're so happy that your phone is fully charged. You know what? I literally I have a note on my phone
Yeah.
where I literally just take notes of things that I learned from each of my guests. Like not only things that I learned like from the guests themselves, but from the actual interview. And I
Yeah.
literally was like writing down a note. I was like, what to do in the event that your guest's phone dies in the middle of an interview. So
And
thank
no,
you
there's
for
nothing you
teaching
can
me
do.
that. You
There's
taught
nothing you
me
can do.
how to
There's
ad lib
nothing
for 10 minutes.
there's nothing you can do. You just gotta have to just like there's nothing you can do. Get me? But like yeah, I felt really bad, guys. I felt really bad. You can ask for stuff. I literally called her like twice. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. But yeah,
It's all good, boo. Apology accepted.
it
100%.
happens.
100%. Yes, it does happen. And then we partied the night away at Souk the next night anyway. So it's all love. It's all good. And here you are, the first ever guest here on the show for like to be on the show twice. That's pretty incredible. What an honor, Durang.
Well, that's really good. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. I appreciate that.
I love it. I love it. I love it. Okay, so first question that I have for you today kind of goes,
Hmm.
so it's still going to be in the theme of love. The theme for today's episode is love in all its many forms. And so I feel like what I want to ask you about first, because this is something that you mentioned quite a bit in our interview last time, was you talked a lot about your family. You talked a lot about your
Hmm.
parents. And just like the things that you're doing to work hard for them, coming from, an immigrant background, coming from a family that, came to South Africa and has been, working really hard to, to make something for themselves. And I could just see that everything that you were sharing was all love for your family and for your parents in particular. So I would love to hear from you. Talk to me about the relationship that you have with your parents today, and what is it
Well,
like when you engage with them?
so for like my mom and dad is very different. They got very different characters. Like my dad's a pastor, so he's very like spiritual. My mom is like, she's a nurse, so she's very like, you know, emotional, always, you know, caring and stuff though. They're both caring but they show love in different ways. And like if you meet me, you get my dad's side, you get my mom's side, you know. So my parents has always been there for me since you know, like since I can imagine. You know, obviously things was never easy for them, you know. But they raised me in a way just to actually just be me and be stronger as an individual. No matter where I go to, no matter what place I am, no matter what country, no matter what circumstance, I need to be strong. You know what I mean? I need to be focused. I need to make sure I survive, you know? And obviously, like, as I told you last week, like, I left the house very young. So I never had that parents' guidance, you know, because I was always by myself in a different province, different city, making new friends, new people. So there was always things thrown at me. You know, sometimes as parents, they always like give advice, like if this and this happens. I never had that with my parents, you know. So that made me very. First of all, when I was young, it first made me a bit angry and upset because I felt like my parents didn't love me and they were never there. But once I got older, I could understand why. I could understand why they were never there. I could understand why they couldn't show me that love as a 15 or 16 or 17 or 18 or growing up, because they had their own stuff to do and they were doing their own stuff. And in their mind, they're like, okay, my kid is there though, but I know he's good. Like, I know he's strong. I know he's fine though. But when you're young, you don't think like that. You're young, you see other parents doing other things for the kids, and you're like, why is my mom not doing that for me? Why is my dad not doing that for me? But like, it's not the same parents, you know? It's not the same way we grew up. So I was very upset. I was very upset until I got to varsity, and I was like, man, you know, like, I think I'm old enough now to do what I need to do, you know? And I think whatever I do, I just got to be very positive what I do. You know, obviously you make a lot of mistakes. I made a lot of mistakes growing up, you know, because obviously with that guidance that I didn't have, in my mind, I thought I could do anything and everything. But it took me a while to actually understand that, no, I'm actually an adult right now. And even though I can do whatever I want to do, I'm still a kid and I'm still young. Not a kid anymore, but I'm still young. You know what I mean? Like, I'm still young, and I have to call my parents. I have to ask them for advice. You know, even if they don't call me, and let me call them. You know, let me talk to them. Let me understand them. You know, make them understand me. You know, because sometimes parents might not show you that love, but as kids or as kids to your parents, you can show them how to love you. You know, like my mom, she doesn't say the word "I love you" back, but I know she loves me. My dad, he's very like skeptical about it, but I know he loves me though. But as a kid, it's nice to hear that word, like, "Hey, I love you," like, you know, "Oh, are you okay? Are you good?" You know. So I had to like show my parents that actually love me. You know, I had to show them how to say "I love you." You know, even though it was really hard for them. You know, but I had to take my time to actually make them really understand me as a young individual. You understand me, and as their son too. Which was very difficult, man, because I carried a lot of emotion, like, you know, I carried a lot of emotion on me, and I didn't know how to express it at the time, because, like, you know, I was always by myself. So when you're by yourself, you know, we didn't know how to express your emotions, so you take everything on your shoulder. Do you understand me? So I didn't know how to express emotions. When I spoke to my dad, it was always like I was holding something back, and then I got to a point where I was like, no, how's he gonna know if I'm good or not? So I had to really express myself. So that's what I did.
That's such a beautiful story of coming up,
Yeah.
of being able to have those really adult conversations with your parents and tell them, hey, I actually need you to tell me that you love me. I actually need you to listen and sit down and have conversations with me, even though and at the same time, I see what you're doing. I see that you're hustling, you're working so hard, and I can understand why you're not saying those things, but I need that, you know, from you. That's okay, Durang. That's very mature. That's very adult. And I don't say that and to say that you're young. I say that to say that I think a lot of people who are far older than either of us aren't having those types of dialogues with their parents or with their siblings or with their family. And are you an only child, or do you have siblings?
No, I've got an older brother and I've got a younger brother. Just boys.
Okay. Boys, a bunch of boys. Okay. That's why your parents were working so hard. They were like, "Oh Lord, they got 3 boys running around."
bunch of big boys,
And
man. Big boys. We're all big in our own ways. Yeah,
okay, okay.
yeah.
And where do your brothers stay? What do your brothers
They
do? Tell us
stay.
a little
They
bit more
stay.
about your relationship with them.
So my brother, like, my older brother and myself, we have a very close relationship. He stays in northern suburbs, in Para. That's where I grew up. You know. And my younger brother stays in Para too. So like they that side and I'm this side. So I'm like the only one that's in the city, and they like in the north. You know. But I do see them time to time the weekend. You know, like my brother will come through this side. Because obviously there's nothing that side, you know. So he'll come through this side to check up on me when we do something. We'll check up on me and we can we'll go out for a drink or two, just talk about some stuff, his family stuff. We'll chat about it, you know. Like, but my younger brother, like he's still growing up. He's still young, you know. So he's just doing his thing. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. I love the family vibes. It's nice to know that you're all still connected, even though you kind of stay in slightly different places. You know, you still see each other. I think that's really inspiring. And so what does that tell me about the type of family that you want to have one day? Do you want to have kids one day? Do you want to have your own family one day? What are you looking for in terms of a family for yourself?
So I always talk about having a different race to how I've been raised with my kids one day. Like I never had that whole family dinner together chatting after like a long day, or like, you know, like New Year's dinner, or like, you know, Christmas dinner, you know, all these things. I never had that. Unfortunately, I never had that though. So I think with me, my family, with my kids, like I want to be able to raise them in a way that I know what's happening in a daily life, you know, if it's like school, if it's like watching the game, you know, if it's picking up my school at school, you know, if it's like, you know, dad, they can talk to me about anything, you know, like literally what I told you about. And also like have every Saturday where friends and family actually come through to the house and actually have like a team be like, you know, Saturday where my wife and her kids and our friends come through and my boys game comes through and the kids play around and we're having a barbecue and the boys talking about whatever they're talking about.
Ooh.
Yeah, I always wanted that, you know. I think that's something that I always looked on and having, you know. And it's also a good way to actually raise, you know, the kids up, you know, because they see that and then they follow through that, you know, like because you can break that generation of, yeah, that's what I mean. That like, you know, so I really want to break that generation where we can actually sit down as a family, have dinner together, you know, go for lunches, go on trips together, you know, go on holiday together, you know, understanding each other, so many things, you know, that I never had. So I don't want my kids to go through the way I went through, you know. It's a hard way of life though, but at the same time, I'm not going to give them everything. I'm going to make them work for everything, but at the same time, be there for them as a father. Definitely. Yeah.
Okay, well, Atembe Saturday sounds like a whole vibe. I'm
Yeah.
already ready for this Atembe Saturday.
Yeah, like Soul Saturday.
I'm gonna crash one of those in like 10 years.
Yeah.
So that sounds like a whole vibe. And
Yeah.
I feel like it's just, again, it's one of those things where you sharing that you want to give your kids the type of life that you maybe didn't necessarily have, give them the things that you weren't able to have for yourself, but also still making sure that they're going to work hard, push themselves, still have that grit and that resilience that you have, you know, from all the hard work that you put in, you know, how to like figure out how to balance that. I think that's probably one of the things that most parents probably think about, right? How do we ensure that our kids have everything and more that we weren't able to have?
I think that's every parent's. I think that's every parent's dream. You know, sometimes as parents, like, you know, when you have kids at a young age, you get mature very quickly. It's facts. But at the same time, sometimes you can't provide them, you know, because maybe it was too early, or maybe it was like, you know, too late, or maybe you're not in the right stage of mind, or maybe something happened down the line, like baby daddy left or something, you know, so a lot of things happen though. Like, but every kid, you know, every parent, once you have a child, that's every parent's dream to actually support and be there for them, no matter what though. I see people that have kids at a young age, they break their backs, 3 jobs, 4 jobs, 5 jobs, just to maintain, you know, the bull every month. You know what I mean? So, it's naturally, it's just like a natural thing to do. I imagine having a kid and being lazy at the same time. It can never happen.
Yeah.
Never.
100%. No, I I agree with that completely. And I feel like I know that there's some people on here on IG Live right now who are parents themselves. Definitely holler at us in the chat. Tell us what you think. If you are a parent, you can weigh in here. We want to hear your thoughts on parenting. Also, for everybody who's here on IG Live right now, you know you can ask Durang questions. And what I want you to do is go to the bottom of your screen, click on the little thought bubble with the question mark in it. Click on that and you can type your questions there. And actually anyone else who's on the live, you can rank questions that you like the best. You can say, yes, I really want her to ask this question. So in the last 10, 15 minutes of the chat, 100% will be asking Durang all the questions that you all have. That's the portion we missed last week, was the audience Q&A. So please ask questions and we're going to get to it this week. So yes, don't type it in the comments because the comments are flying and going by too fast. Put it in the little bubble with the question mark in it. So Durang, I'm asking you a lot of questions about parenting and families and things like this. And part of this is because, you went on this reality TV show, Love Island, to find love, right? That must be the theme. Like you go to a show like Love Island, you're trying to find love. You're trying to find the one, or you're trying to find the one night. I don't know. Tell us about what motivated you to go on the show in the first place. I know last week you talked a little bit about how they first approached you and you were with a girlfriend at the time. So you were, you didn't say yes in the beginning, but what were you going onto this reality TV show trying to find love or lust or something? What did you want to get from the experience?
So for instance, when I got into the house, I did not know what I was expecting, man. Honestly, I didn't know what I was expecting to get into. I did know, honestly, from my perspective, talking from my point of view, that I did want to go find love. I did. But yet again, I was misunderstood. And it happens.
Okay.
I think that's the story of my life. But I did want to go find love, though. Unfortunately, it just didn't happen. I think everything happens for a reason. And I'm still here. Yeah, so...
Mm-hmm.
Me being inside the house,
Okay.
I saw a couple of stuff. I saw a couple of stuff that was just a bit, different for me, And I know for a person like myself, I'm very real, I'm very honest, I'm very straightforward. And it wasn't there for me. So it happened, it happened. But the experience was really awesome. I've learned a lot about the experience. I think that's something I can actually really say about TV and being production, being a show like that, But I'm still happy. I'm still positive. I'm still doing me. I'm still with Durang. I'm still good, man. So love or no love, I'm still happy. Relationship, single or being with someone, I'm still happy. So yeah.
Well, we love that you're still happy, and we love your honesty about the whole experience. There's two things that you mentioned that I want to touch on. One is the fact that you say that you're misunderstood. That's the story of your life. Yeah. And the second thing is that you keep saying that you were honest and you were just 100% yourself the whole time, which I think is really admirable. But also led to you saying one statement in particular that was quite shocking, I think, for a lot of people. But we're gonna get to that in a second. Yeah. But talking about you being misunderstood, why do you think people misunderstand you? And what is the perception and what is the reality?
Yeah. I always say, people watch Love Island, people watch reality TV, they think it's real, but it's not. Yeah. It's real speaking. You're speaking to each other. Yes, definitely, that's real. But it's not real. You understand? This is production. This is creativity. There's so many things, There's so many things that come to it. You understand? This is content. This is, getting people to actually watch you, to actually what's exciting, what's happening. There's so many things. So, from my point of view, my perspective on the show was this guy, playing all other girls, I laugh, people always laugh about it because that never happened. And if I tell you what actually happened throughout, though, people have different perspective, how to say things, but at the same time, it's none of my business, and it's in the past, and I don't really worry about it, you understand? Because at the same time, I know the truth. But yeah, I was really misunderstood on the show. I think the real ones would really understand and know the deal. But yeah, when I say misunderstood in my life, it became a part of me, It became a part of me where I came out the show and people will meet me. And as I told you last week, people will actually want to talk to me and want to have a conversation with me, or oh, I know you, or you look familiar, but then put me on this bracket already, like, oh, you the guy from Love Island, oh, you the player, oh, you this and that. Yeah, that's what I mean there. So it became a thing, and it became a thing where I kind of just took it and I smiled with it, and it didn't really bother me. You understand? Because at the same time, they don't really know me, and they don't have to know me.
Yeah,
They don't really have
that's
to know
true.
me. You understand? So I just took whatever perspective that they say of me, or what they see on TV on the screen, and they just went with it. You understand me? Yes, I'm not perfect. I'm not perfect. You understand me? Yes, I'm single.
Sure,
Yes, I can
sure.
do what I want to do. But at the same time, don't talk to me like you know me. Don't talk to me like like we're friends or like we troll out. You understand me? Don't put me in this bracket or this box that you think that you do know. Because
Mm,
I always kind of like just like put it with a smile. Just like I just take it, man. I just take it.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay. I think that's very interesting. I think you are actually very mysterious. And I think people who are in the public eye oftentimes are. People think that they know people who are in the public eye. You know, they
Mm.
think that because they saw you on Love Island, they know something about you. People think that because they see me every Tuesday on NIKKI BANZ Live, they know what's going on. But like, people don't really know what's going on behind the scenes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that's what kind of happens when you become a public figure or when you're in the public eye, which is definitely something that you're speaking to.
Like
And
as I,
but one of the
sorry,
things
like
I
sorry,
yeah
like as I told you last week, when that actually happened, when I got off the show, it was really cool. Like I enjoyed the whole like, can I take a photo with you or this and that and that and that. But as time went, I was not actually happy, man. I got to a point where it felt like
mm,
there was always eyes watching me. I couldn't be at a certain spot, just be me and just be natural. Where there's always like eye or like, oh, this guy, and it was really difficult for me. But then I told myself,
mm,
I put myself in that situation, but at the same time, I put myself in the situation.
yeah
I was
right
on the show. I was on the show. I put myself in the situation, but at the same time, don't worry about it.
yeah
Don't worry about it. Be mature about it. You understand me? Just do you, because to someone else out there, you're actually someone that's very important. And someone else that people actually look up to. People actually care about you.
yeah
My mom and dad cares about me. I care about myself. I love myself. So
yes
I just got very positive about the whole thing, and it just didn't disturb me anymore. And I just like, if I'm out, I'll just do me, and I want to go out. I want to do what I want to do. You understand me? I need to live as an individual, as a human being, but I need to be careful now. This is the thing I had to be careful about who I talk to, how I talk about things, and what bring close. Because people's intention these days is very different, man. Very,
facts
very different. And
facts
and that made me very aware, because like the people will talk to me, but they will talk to me in a way like so friendly, but I know that they're actually being two-faced, or like, being so many things. So I had to be very careful and actually hold my guard up, because what I mean, as a man, I still got feelings. I still have, what I mean. So I had to be very, very careful about the whole scenario about that. Then I became more mature, and I just didn't let people in. I mean, whenever I spoke about, I'll be very careful about how I say things, where I am, who's looking, and that's a bit sad. And a lot of people go through that. So that's why mental health is actually a massive thing that people go through. That's in the public eye. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
mm,
yeah.
mm. I
That's
think
where
that
people. That's yeah.
I think that you taking no go ahead
No, no, no. I'm done. I'm done. I'm done. But that's what I mean. Like
well
that's
I
what I
was
feel
just
like.
going to say that I
That's where
think
people in the public eye. That's doing what they're doing. It's hard for them, because some of them, as much as they can be very strong about the scenario, some of them are still individuals that has emotions, and they can get weak, or someone might say something that's very deep, or might say something that's very touchful, and we put a smile and everything, but at the same time, when we're by ourselves, it actually hurts us. You know what I mean?
mm,
And it makes us actually
mm,
think a lot about ourselves, like, like, what, like, did I do something wrong, or why is always people judging me? Like so many things. And that's where mental health actually come through a big role, because you start having these ideas in your mind that you start juggle, but it sometimes not even true. But it takes one little comment to actually make someone feel like, oh, you know what, like, here we go again, you know? Like when people come to me like, oh, you the guy from Love Island, I'm like, here we go again. And I know the question after that, how was the experience? Here we go again, you know what I mean? So it's like,
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah.
learn to actually just like take it in, like, okay, cool, just tell me what you want to tell me. I'll tell you what I need to tell you, and then shake hands, smile, and that's it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I think it's really powerful that you're talking about mental health. I think it's really powerful that you're talking about protecting your energy, putting up boundaries, and setting up, a sort of force field, a protective energy around yourself. Because I think a lot of people take that for granted. I think a lot of people, they think that like everything is all good. They think that people are really happy for them. And like you said, people can be smiling in your face and then, you turn around and they're stabbing you in the back, right? So
Yeah.
how do we create networks of people who are truly our allies? How do we make sure that the people who are closest to us in our tightest circles are supporting our mental health? They're hyping us up. They're allowing us to be the best versions of ourselves. How do we
I
actually
think,
create that
I think,
protective
I,
energy around ourselves so that we're always like shining the best way that we
yeah,
can possibly be?
I think with that advice, I think you just gotta surround people that actually really loves you.
Yeah.
That will be there for you. That will let you see there's something wrong with you. That will pick you up. There's no way you can't change that. It's been there for years, man. No matter what you do, it's been there for years. You can't change it. Even if you have like a team of people sitting down and talking to each other, the minute you leave that little meeting, you're out in the real world. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's gonna be
Yes.
thrown at you something.
Well,
But
I'd be super curious to hear from you if like since doing the show, since Men's Health magazine, since all these really big milestones that you've had in your professional career, have you seen that circle change? Because I'm finding that the more that I grow, the more that I'm in the spotlight, the more that I'm emceeing, hosting, people seeing me around Cape Town, people seeing me, whatever. I'm finding that all of a sudden now that those things are shifting, that group of people who I actually kind of thought had my back maybe wasn't necessarily the people who
very
really do.
true.
And so
Very
I'm seeing that group shift.
very true. It's like in life, you know, if I became a multimillionaire today, okay, I'll have a lot of friends. If I if I'm doing nothing and I'm still like trying to survive and I'm still trying to be that young individual that's just trying to do things, no one really cares. It's like in life. It's like when you're doing well, everyone knows you. You know what I mean? If I go to another magazine, oh, so congratulations, congratulations. But when there's no magazine, when there's no, when there's no good days, who are you? You know what I mean? You understand me? So it's like,
Yes.
you know, if I meet a guy that's driving a Mercedes and I'm taking an Uber, he's better than me in some people's eyes. You know what I mean? But I can be very smart and be like, I'm taking an Uber because I'm trying to save or so many things.
Yeah.
Or I'm trying to like, balance myself. Oh, I didn't need a car right now. But there's always
Yes.
eyes to certain things, you know what I mean? And that's where people get played around and fooled around because they think some people they worked hard for it, and there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? There's
Yep.
nothing wrong with that. You know,
Yes.
like there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's nothing wrong with that, but you always got to watch out who has your back and who's really there for you, even when it's hard times, when it's good times, and when it's successful times. That's why people that are very successful, their friends are like this.
It gets super small.
Really small. It's super small. It's super small. Do you understand me? Some of them don't even have friends. Some of them don't even need friends. You know what I mean? Because people can change like this. It takes one day to change.
It's true.
It takes one person like, hey, Nikki said this about me. Oh wow. You know what I mean? It takes a little switch. You know what I mean? A little jealousy,
Right.
a little of everything that can make people switch about you. But then you need that friend that even though he hears that stuff, he will actually call you like, hey, bro, I heard this and that happened. You know, like, is it true? That's a real friend.
Yeah.
But someone that doesn't tell you is always like, you know what I mean? So like,
Yeah.
I have, trust me, like man, I had a lot of friends coming in my life. Some of them left, some of them are still there. And people that really know me for me, I'll always show love and I'll always be positive. I'll always like, I'll never disrespect. You understand? That's just the way I am. And if you disrespect me, even talk about bad about me, I don't have to know, but I'll always show you that love. You know, it's better to show love than show hate. You know, it's better to be positive and smile. Because one day, there's always say there's a one day. They always say there's a one day. There's a one day. And there doesn't, and you don't have to impress or anything, but there's gonna be a one day where they're gonna be like, no man, what I actually said was very wrong.
Yeah.
I misunderstood and everything. And that's how just life is. Life is just like that, man. It's just like that. You know?
Right.
Yeah.
What goes around comes around.
Definitely.
And I feel like it's so important that you're sharing this right now because it is a growth journey. We as individuals, we as human beings, we're never going to be stagnant. If we're just keeping the same friends and the same life and the same everything forever and ever, then we're not growing. And that's
No
not a
growing at
knock
all.
to say that like you need to shift through friends or you need to switch careers or you need to change jobs or switch it up. It's not that per se. It's that you should be trying to grow. You should be trying to be the best version of yourself. And as you get older, that obviously shifts and that changes and that's growth and that's important. That's important to all of us to be the best of ourselves.
As we grow, wow, we get different type of friends. You know, sometimes you have friends that you will tell your personal stuff about, and you got friends you do business with and like, you know, do things with. There's two different friends.
Yes.
You can't mix them both. You can't. You know what I mean? You can have a best friend you can do business with. Maybe that works though, but there's always a different type of friend. You got a friend for fun time. You got a friend for real time. You got a friend for personal time. You got a friend to go on holiday and trips. You know, when girls go on trips, like, you know, or boys go on trip, it's very different. You know who to be, you know, because you know it's going to be a vibe. So that's the thing though, but you do know who's the real one. There's always that one. There's always that two. Maybe it's your parents, maybe it's yourself. So yeah, that's how I take it like.
Yes. Yes. And I really enjoy the idea and subscribe to the idea that you have different groups of friends for different things. You know, I think it's quite rare, you know, maybe you have 1, 2, 3 friends max who you can do everything with. Like, you know, you want to go work out, they go work out with you. You want to go to the club, they go to the club with you. You want to travel, they travel with you. I think it's quite rare to have friends who you do every single thing with, but it's okay if like these friends are your exercise friends and these friends are your business friends and these friends are your club friends. Like, it's okay to have that because, you know, like, because us, we are very dynamic people. You know, it's not often that we can find someone who does every single thing, has all the same interests and stuff that we do. And when we do find that person, normally it's our partner or our soulmate. You know what I mean? Like, when we find that person, it's like, that's the one, right? It's not a friend. That's the love of my life right there, you know? And so, and then you balance each other and you complement each other. And I said at the beginning of this interview that the theme today is love. And I love that we transitioned from sort of talking about family and parents. And now we're in the category of like self-love, because having that love for ourselves trumps all. I literally gave a speech last week for First Thursday. And I said to the people who were there, I said, you know, self-love, you know, or I said, what did I say? I said the most radical act of self-love for Black people is to put ourselves first. So that's the most radical act of self-love. And it's not often that we do that. We don't do that. As people of color, as young people who are globetrotting, going to different countries, it's quite rare that we can sit here and say, I can put myself first.
Actually, when we're talking about that topic, that's very true. For Black people of color, self-love is actually very important because some of us, man, we hate each other. It's always like a competition, man. It's always like something like going on. And then I'm like, yo, like for Blacks, like we together. We're all together actually. Blacks, white, Indian, like we're all together. Do you understand me? But that love and that bond that we have as individuals, as Black people, it's always like competition. It's always like, you know what I mean? It's always like watching. And I'm like, why? You know? You understand me? Like, why? You know? And that's very important, because if you go to certain type of places too, like if I'm the only Black there, I need to have self-love. I need to be very confident, you know what I mean? Imagine me going to Iceland and I'm not, like, I'm the only Black guy there. Like, hey, I'm at a restaurant, like, hey, how you doing? They'll be like, yo, Black guy. You know? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm like awkward and feeling weird because I'm the only Black guy. No, I need to be very confident, like, hey, how you doing? I'm allowed to be here, you know, like, yeah, we together, you know? So it's very true that you actually mentioned that. As people of color, I think our self-love needs to be very, very high. But as individuals itself, you know, white, no matter what color, you know, self-love is very important. It's extremely important.
It's so important. And I'm actually, this will be the one thing I'll ever say that I'm grateful for the pandemic in 2020, 2021. The one thing that I'm grateful for is that I feel like what happened when the whole world stopped, when borders closed, people couldn't travel. I feel like everyone had to take a good look in the mirror because it was just you.
Yeah.
It wasn't your friends. It wasn't your family. It wasn't anybody else. Everyone had to just stop what they were doing and take a good look in the mirror, and they had to decide whether or not they liked what they saw. And I think most people looked at what they saw and they didn't like it. That's what I think.
I think the whole pandemic actually made people aware of a lot of things, to make people aware of a lot of things that was not good, positively and negatively. You must understand, people lost their jobs, people was going through their own stuff, family stuff, marriage. A lot of people actually think about them. The amount of people actually became single after the pandemic is high. The level of divorce, the level of unemployment, the level of so many things went high because people actually got to understand, like, shit, things not working out. Like, this is not it. So yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and it's, again, it's growth. Like we said before, like that's growth. When you start to realize, actually this relationship that I'm in doesn't serve me and I'm not serving my partner in the way that I should, or actually this job doesn't serve me anymore, so why am I still working here? Those are the really hard and the really serious questions that folks had to ask themselves because we weren't distracted by everything else going on in life. And as difficult and challenging as that is, I think that society's consciousness has shifted as a result of it. And for that, I'm grateful.
That's true. That's very true.
Yeah, that's what I would say. But, okay, Durang, we could just be sitting here talking all day. Mental health, self-love, raising up people of color, families, all the things. This conversation is real juicy. Yeah. I'm loving it. This is real. I saw somebody in the chat, I don't know who it was. Somebody was like, I'm loving the real talk. Yes, me too. I'm loving the real talk. So I'm going to ask you maybe like one or two more questions, and then I'm going to throw it over to the fans because there are already a couple questions in our little question box. Remember, everyone, if you have a question for Durang, please ask it. Put it into the little bubble with the question mark in it. Put it in there, and I will ask your questions in the next 5 or so minutes as we wrap up this interview. What'd you say?
Before my phone dies.
Yeah, before Durang's phone dies, I will ask him your questions, okay? Durang, why don't you just plug your phone in like anybody else? Like my phone is plugged in right now.
It's good. Trust me, it's good. It's good. It's not gonna happen again, guys. Don't worry about it.
So funny. Okay, so we talked about family love. We talked about self-love. Now let's talk about love. So the people want to know, Durang, are you looking for love? Are you looking for the one? Are you looking for the one night? What's your relationship status? And what are you trying to find love? Or are you looking at other priorities right now?
No comments on that.
No comments. I'm trying to get all the juice, Durang. I'm trying to get all the sauce.
If it happens, it happens.
Okay. That's fair. If it happens, it happens.
What do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? I'm not.
You're my guest. I'm asking you. I just asked. Yeah, but are you looking for love? I said, are you looking for love, or do you have other priorities? That's what I asked.
Look, I would tell you this, and I'll leave it like that. I do want God to give me that person, but I don't know when. I'm not rushing, and I'm still happy single, so I'm good.
Okay. Excellent. I think that's great. I mean, you're young. You should be exploring. You got lots. What?
Exactly my point. I'm young. I was in a 6 years relationship, man. I'm not gonna get into another relationship where I'm not knowing it's actually very sure. I was in a 6 years relationship. I'm turning 24 right now. If I get into another relationship and I'm not sure about it, and I'm in another 6 years, 8 years, that's my whole youth away. So I need to be very sure. Do you understand me? That's why I'm not rushing. That's why I need to make sure the right person, the next person in my life needs to be the one, So
yes.
I'm not rushing, man. Me being in that 6 years relationship, getting to something now new, then not knowing that person is the one for me, to breaking after 2 years, 3 years. Fuck that, man. Sorry, my language.
It's okay. You can cuss on Nikki Banz
yeah,
Live. We ain't got no network telling us we can't cuss on this show.
yeah, it's not gonna be me, man. So I'm just happy single, just doing my thing. Yeah.
Okay. Well, I like that. Look, do your thing, do you. That's all we can do. And, you know, I feel like when you're, this honestly, this is what I feel. People ask me this question too. People are like, oh, like, are you looking for somebody? What are you trying to do? Da, 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 da. And like, yes, I'm single. Cool. But I feel like I'm still working on being the best version of myself. And once I do that, then I will attract the partner who is right for me. That's what I think.
That's actually the perfect way to actually explain it, because I'm still going through a phase where I'm trying to get better and I'm knowing myself better. I can't be that person when I'm not like emotionally available or like physically available and so many things, you know. I need to get that whole thing, because man, being in a relationship is like a job. Yo, it's like man, it's like a 24-hour job, man. You know what I mean? It's like a 24-hour job. People think it's a joke. It's not a joke, man. Like, yo, like you need to. It's a lot, man. You know, it's like you need to understand it's another person you're with. So whatever she's going through, whatever he's going through, whatever things that you need to take it. You know, even when you don't want to be there, yo, man, it's a lot, and you still got to go to your other job. And come back home and have another job, yo. And now when you have kids, you have 3 jobs. Oh, that's a lot, yeah. Man, it's
not the kids. That's another job.
It's a job,
not the
man.
kids.
Yo, it's a lot of job, man. It's a lot. Yeah.
Okay, that's true. Yeah. And I think, like, yeah, for me, when we say it's a job, it's like it's effort, because if you love this person and you want this relationship to work, then you're gonna put in effort. You're gonna make time. You're gonna try and you're gonna try and inspire this person, challenge this person, lift them up, and you hope that they're doing the same for you. Definitely. So that, yeah, you gotta really invest. You gotta really like put in that effort. And it is work.
And that's not like 1 week, 2 weeks. That's like years, man. Longevity, like it's years. Yo, 40 years, yeah. 50 years. Like even when you're tired and you're old, like, hey, I love you. You know. So you gotta make sure you actually have the right person. Facts.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, facts. I agree completely. And in the meantime, while we're searching for that right person, you know, we just go mingle a little bit, and then, you know, we just see what we like.
It happens.
It happens. It should happen. You know, my mom is gonna kill me for saying this on the show, but honestly, my mom told me once, she was like, Nicole, you can't buy a car without test driving it first. And I was like, yeah, exactly. Like, yeah. That's how I feel, you know? I'm trying to see, do I like this Range Rover? I don't know. Do I like this G-Wagon? I don't know. Do I want the Suzuki Jimmy? I don't know. Let me just try them all out, you know, and see what I like.
Let me tell you something. So, the world that we're living in right now, people are so quick to be boyfriend and girlfriends. Like, extremely quick. Like, you might meet someone for 2 weeks, go to your friends. Hey, friend, I like this guy. I like this guy. You know, so many things. Oh, he took me out. Oh, this and that. Man, that's bullshit. People are so quickly to actually just like, you know, like quickly have that whole status, like you're my boyfriend, my girlfriend, you know, or like if I'm taking long to actually ask you to be my girlfriend, like why are you taking long? Are you cheating? You know, so many things. Man, I'm not taking long. I'm trying to get to know you. I'm taking my time.
Okay.
But these days, people are quick, you know.
But that to me, if people are quick to jump to names and conclusions and things like that, that to me sounds like a lack of communication in a relationship. Because just because you start sleeping with somebody or you start dating them or seeing them with any kind of consistency, you need to have a conversation about, I think you need to have a conversation about what it is. Like, are we just going to be having sex and it's casual and we're not going to go out and do dates? Are we going to do dates and we're going to go out and we're actually going to be seen in public together and we're going to do that? Like, you have to have that kind of dialogue. Don't just say, oh, it's my girlfriend, oh, it's my boyfriend, whatever. Like, you have to have honest conversations.
The thing is that not everyone has the guts to actually have that conversation. If I just went up to a girl and be like, hey, I like you. Can we just have fun? She looked at me like, this nigga. You get what I'm trying to say? Like, you get what I'm trying to
Okay,
say?
but then that's how you know. That's how you know that that's not the one for you. That's how you know. Even if it's a casual thing, I'm telling you. Okay, we're about to go off on a whole tangent. We only got 10 minutes left. I'm about to go off on a whole tangent. But look, this is my mom, y'all. I was like, my mom says a test drive is one thing. Don't live at the dealership. Oh, that's from my dad. I'm dead. Mama Bear's in the building. Shout out. They said test drive the car, but don't live at the dealership.
Yeah, get out the
parents
dealership.
have slayed on NIKKI BANZ Live. Thank you, Mom and Dad. Love y'all. We should be taking relationship tips from them. They've been married for like, how many? Has it been 40 years now?
Oh, wow,
something crazy like that. Sorry, I don't remember the exact years. But anyway, what I was going to say was, even if it's a casual thing, this is one of the things that I talk about like regularly when I talk about like sex positivity, when I talk about relationships and things like that. You can have a casual relationship that is a relationship of dignity, that is one of trust, even though you're not together and even though you're not exclusive. That is okay. But people, and I think people here in South Africa in particular, it is very difficult for people to wrap their head around the casual relationship that is not exclusive, that is like one that can just be treated with dignity. And like, and you should be having those honest conversations. You should be taking that leap to say, hey, like, I like you, I want to get to know you, but let's just keep it chill. And if people are getting nervous by that, then like, halas, they must move. They must move.
For my age, I can actually say I had a fair share of a lot of things, man.
You?
Yeah, I had a fair share of a lot of things. For my age, you know. I had a fair share of a lot of things, and you know, I speak to my homie Alex about it so many times. These days, I'm getting like the ich, or like I'm not sure. I'm just like I'm so picky. Like I'm just like, you know, like thinking like, you know, oh, this person, but this person, and the reason why I'm actually like so like picky on getting the ich and stuff, because like I had my own, like I said, I had a fair share. So like I got to understand mixing with so many people, man, that's like energy change. And sometimes people, they don't need your energy. Like they don't need your energy.
Yes.
So it's like,
yes,
you might do something, wake up tomorrow, but like, what the hell did I do that? You know, like, you know, and it happens, man. It happens to a lot of us.
it does.
And then,
It does.
you know, that stays with you forever. You know, even if you meet that person that you're 5 years in the mall or whatever, like, you're like, that person doesn't deserve that or that, you know, you understand me? But, you know, we don't really think at the moment, because, you know, like you might think of lust, or you might think of, you know, like as men, like we think of lust, you know, if it's women, or you guys are just horny at the time, you guys want to do it, you know, so. Yeah, no, it's very true. You know, you're laughing at me, but you know it's true. You understand? Because with men, like, you laughing at me, but you know it's true.
I don't know if I agree, but okay, great.
But yeah, no, that's why, yeah.
No, but the energy piece is critical. I saw somebody in the chat. Somebody in the chat was just saying energy. Yes, no, it's fact. If you're gonna be in any kind of thing with anyone, especially if it's physical, like it's for sure an energy exchange. Literally, energy is being exchanged. Actually, literally, if it's a physical thing.
And the thing that energy when you're sober, because energy when you're drunk is very different. Alcohol,
what?
A lot of.
No, that's also energy, though.
No, but still, you're not gonna drink every day with that person. You're gonna be like, you know what I mean? You might meet someone at a club or wherever you meet. You guys have alcohol in your system. You're talking to that person. The energy is positive, though. But if that energy can be positive in that kind of way when you're both sober and still have that same community, like same chat and everything, then
yes,
that's good. You know?
Yes. That I agree with, especially because, like, yeah, a lot of people these days, young people, they go out, they're on the streets, we're lit, then we're drinking, and then, you know, that's one type of energy. Yes. But I think it's even more imperative when you're drinking or when you're out partying to be even more thoughtful about your energy, because it's in those moments when you're not making decisions of your right mind. So it's even more important that you actually really have some kind of a vibe from this person, again, whether it's casual or not, so that you don't have that person's bad energy, negative energy, weird energy, because once it's done, it's done, and it's there. You have to do a whole lot of hard work to get rid of it if it's already there.
True, and even that's a new, like, that's another job too.
That's what I'm saying. It's a
That's not,
literal
that's a
exchange
whole
of
lot of,
energy.
that's a whole lot of stuff.
That's what I'm saying.
You know? So,
Literally.
yeah.
So anyway, well, we can talk about this for a long time. Now that we get into this, I'm like, Lord, we're gonna have to host. I don't know. We'll do something next time I'm at Souk. Well, you know, I host Wednesday nights at Souk. I'll be like, everybody come through. We're gonna do NIKKI BANZ Live Part 3. Durang and NIKKI BANZ Live, talking about love and lust and self-love and everything, all the things. We're gonna have to do something like that. But Durang, we have some questions from the fans. So can I take these last 5 minutes to ask questions that people have been asking?
Why not?
Okay. So we have questions in the chat. Okay, so one person, Victoria Allen, just says thank you. Thank you, Victoria Allen, 95. Appreciate you. Thank you. We have my homegirl, Amani, out in Kenya. She's just asking, are you single?
I'm single.
Yeah. All right. He is single, ladies and gentlemen. He is single. All right. As am I. Just saying. Hey. For everyone who's tuning in. All right. Okay. Next question. Okay, this is a good question. This is from Danica. Danica is saying, would you do reality TV again?
Definitely.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
Definitely. Because I'm already there. And this time we're better. I'll be 10 times better.
Ooh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
You know what? You know what we should get you on? We need to get you on. What's that show? Too Hot to Handle. Oh my gosh. That would be great. That would be great. Or you want to do a different kind of reality TV? Like you want to do like a cooking show or something? Like what do you want to do?
Nah, what do you show though? But if something happens, so you never know. Just never know. Just you never know what can happen though. So, but would I be another reality TV? I definitely would be. I definitely would be. And this time I would know things that the reason why I'm so positive about it because I would understand the industry 10 times better. And I know how to do things, and I know how to operate, and I know how to move, and I know how to do things. So it's like, I'll definitely be in another TV. I know I'll definitely be in another reality TV again soon. I know, definitely, yeah.
Ooh, put that out into the universe, Durang. He said by next year I'll definitely be on another reality TV show. I love that. Yes, we're gonna manifest that for you, Durang. We ready? We ready? Okay, the last question's kind of similar-ish. We've got two people who are asking like, what was your least favorite thing about being on the show? And then Tyrese, one of my homies, Tyrese is asking, what was the craziest experience on the show?
My least favorite thing being on the show was I don't remember there was a day in the house where I was literally by myself. I felt like the whole world was, just against me. After the whole Timna, whole misunderstand, a milli, whatever, and I feel like the whole I was by myself and everything, and I enjoy it because I know my truth. I know I didn't do anything wrong. You know what I mean? Like if I tell people on right here what actually happened, they would actually understand that though. But I don't want to get into that.
Yeah.
I was actually being there for everyone, to understand me, and I was misunderstood and I was misjudged, and it happens, man. It really happens. But that day was really sad, man. I didn't like it, I mean, I didn't like it. It was not a good day for me. But you know what I did? I just took it day by day. Just took it day by day. And yeah. And the favorite time, the craziest time on the show. There was actually a lot, actually. I would actually say my favorite was actually understanding everyone's character, man. From like the newcomers coming in, how they were on the first day and the second day, and getting used to the whole camera scene, and getting to know about this person, the spices, and like the drama, like in between, and like the little chats, like you gotta go to chat. That was very exciting. You know what I mean? So I was actually happy that after the whole thing, I kind of just stood back and just watched everything going on, because there was no one in there for me actually that I liked. Like everyone as an individual, as a person, but there was no one in there for me that actually attracted me, got me that.
Yeah.
But to watch the
Which is
whole
understand.
drama, yeah, to watch the whole drama and the juice and the emotional and the sadness and the happiness and all things, I'm just like, that was me just sitting, that was actually me just enjoying in the sunbed, just like drinking some juice and actually like watching around, you know. I really enjoyed that, man. I really enjoyed that.
Okay. I love that. I love that. Thank you for sharing. The people have questions and they want to know. Okay, there's like a bunch of questions coming in now. Dang, coming in now. We've been live for an hour and now y'all coming in with 1,000 questions. Dang. Oh well. Okay. This is the last question I want to ask because I'm curious about your answer. Because we get into it. But there's a question in here that says, would you ever date a girl you met at the club?
Yeah. What's wrong with that?
Thank you.
So,
Thank you.
Oh, I would bet.
Yeah,
Show
I
me
was
that
like,
church.
depending on this
Show me
answer
that
right
church.
now, I was like, this whole interview is about to go sideways.
Someone once told me, meet them at church. The ones at church are the worst ones. someone once told me that, you know, the ones at church are the worst. Man, I'm joking with you, man. But yeah, I don't mind when I meet them. Yeah.
Yes. I don't mind either. And also, I'm like, as someone who literally gets paid to work at clubs, so I'm always at the club, I'm like, if I like to party and I like to dance, I like to be at the club, and I meet you there,
Exactly.
then what's wrong with that? Doesn't that mean we
Yeah.
both like to dance and party and have fun? Why? Why can't we then be lovers and friends and have kids together one day? Why not? I don't understand.
Exactly. I need to meet them in the library.
Yeah. Are you gonna meet them in the library? Yeah. I mean, do we even go to the library anymore? Shame. Amazon got rid of all the libraries. Honestly.
Oh man. I must
I'm
say,
dead.
I do want someone that's very smart. I do want someone that's very, very intellectual. I really want someone. I've always been attracted to a person that has her own, that's very powerful in her own way, very powerful. You know, like a strong, independent woman, not a girl, a woman. It's different. It's two different of a girl and a woman. It's two different of a man and a boy. Done. Yeah. Next. Yeah.
Yes. No, facts. Facts for sure. I love it. Well, Durang, we all love it. I think, people are commenting in the chat. You get all little hearts on the side. I'm like, man, people are just loving this, Durang. But I do want to be thoughtful of your time. You have been on with me for an hour. And this is round 2, the first ever time I've had a guest come on NIKKI BANZ Live, my live show every Tuesday. You came on 2 weeks in a row. It's the very first. Yeah. Congratulations. I got to give you the little DJ horn. Amazing. So everybody, make sure you're following Durang on Instagram at Durang Atembe. Make sure you're following me at They Call Me Bands. Go to the top of your screen, click that little down arrow in the middle of your screen at the top, and you can be able to follow me, follow Durang. And Durang, last question for you before I let you go out into the world, out onto the streets, out into your bed, wherever you going after this. My very last question for you is, what's coming up next? What can us, as your friends, as your fans, as your followers, what can we keep an eye out for? How can we continue to support you in your journey?
Just like keep showing love. I don't really talk about, things coming up for me. Like I just let it slide and let it show people that I'm doing it. But I am promising there's gonna be a lot of things that are happening this year. Actually, very soon. I signed a good deal. That was really dope for me. Been something new, a new chapter to my life. But just keep on showing love. Keep on praying for me as I'm praying for you guys. And yeah, just be there. Just be active. And just show me love. That's all. That's all I want. And if I meet you in person, I meet you out there. Just please greet me too. Don't be shy. I don't bite. I'm a very nice guy. When you meet me out, I'm not a to myself person. I'll always say hi to you. And yeah, just look after yourself too and be very positive. You know, whatever you do, don't let anyone bring you down. Don't let anyone tell you you can't do something. Don't let anyone, um, you know, bring your energy or your persona down about you. And just, you know, I always say, you know, like, you know, show love and never hate, you know, because love is better than hate and it's more massive than hate. And always believe in yourself. You know, it's very, very important. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you, Durang, for
Appreciate it.
sharing those words of wisdom. Thank you for blessing us with an hour of your time. Thank you for your energy and your light and your insights. I think a lot of people learned new things today about you, about how you operate, how you move through the world. And hopefully that can help them to start to think about the way that they move through the world as well. So on behalf of the whole NIKKI BANZ Live, I'm so glad to have you on for week 2. This is great. And I can't wait to see you around in Cape Town very soon, which I'm sure will be soon.
Very
And shout out
soon.
to everybody who tuned in here on NIKKI BANZ Live. I do this every single Tuesday. Amazing interviews, hour long, with some of the dopest people around the world. So please join me again next Tuesday for NIKKI BANZ Live. Durang, thank you. I will see you again soon, my man.
Definitely. Take care, man.
All
Enjoy your
right.
night. Sleep well. Enjoy your week.
You too. Thank you. Bye,
Bye.
Durang. Bye, everybody. See you next Tuesday.